don't know why that's my first thing to do when I see myself.
So I should put it like right here.
Yeah, we should go. And
Action.
we're back.
We're back.
We missed you guys just as much as you missed us.
Definitely.
Welcome back to a double dose.
Remedies
for the soul.
So this is episode 1. We are going to be so consistent with you guys that you may get tired of us. But you've been asking, so here we are. I know you guys got like a lot of questions, so we might as well do like mini check-ins and test the water, see how our mood's been, give you guys a little insight of what's going on.
What's going on? Yeah, you started. What's going on with you, girl?
You know what's funny is that I was saying this, but since the last time we recorded, I done went through a lot of freaking changes. One is, I think Asante was like 1 or going on 2 the last time we recorded. So parenting has been what's going on. Love it to death, but Lord, am I tired. Secondly, I did a big chop. What's funny is after we graduated, 2023, I chopped my hair off. I went like this freaking short.
I was literally sitting on my couch and this bitch texted me a photo of her hair gone. I said, do I need to call them people?
Yeah, Yeah, if I didn't, then I think the hair chop saved me. I don't know what it is about women, but like when we go through shit, we just have to like cut our hairs off or diet or like clean up or whatever. So I went through the big chop, went natural, then I'm back straight, What else has been going on with me? Work. I've changed from like 3 different jobs, literally. I've had 3 jobs in 2024. Because I realize I have a career now. So if you're not serving the purpose I need you to serve, then fuck you.
Yeah. If it's not giving growth, it's giving I gotta go.
Exactly. So I've been doing that, and I moved at the end of 2023 to 2024. So I've been in a new place for a year. And so life is life, and I'm just surviving.
I love that for you.
Okay, what about you?
Well, this is Brittany's new place that we are recording in. It has wonderful lighting. Last time we were here, we were recording in my place, and we loved, the big window in the background, but it kind of gave shadow for us. So, we're excited to be here. For me, ain't no parenting been going on. I know that much. I had a dog last year, but his name was Juju, and he was a standard schnauzer. He was so cute, but I had to give him away because I had a new job at that point, and I was working like a 10 to 12 hour day. So, and I could not afford. Do y'all know how much doggy daycare is? $400+ a month.
I keep telling her, leave the dog at home.
But I just feel so bad. Like,
turn the TV on.
But that's not human interaction. Like, they need friends and stuff. And it would be good for his socialization. But I just could not swing it financially. So I gave him away to some white man in a matte black Tesla. Okay, he came to pick him up and said, we're going to live the life. You should have seen him driving away in the window of that Tesla. I said, you're above my pay grade now. So I hope he's doing well, eating his, organic grass-fed kibble and whatnot, and all that good stuff. So but no moves for me. I've just we graduated, and then I've had 3 jobs. I've had 3 jobs since we've graduated, because also if it's not giving growth, it's giving let's go. So the first kind of work that we were actually both working at the same company, to not be named. Yeah. But
we did 6 months there.
Yeah.
And then we skedaddled and we went separate ways, unfortunately.
And then I went to work at a domestic violence mobile clinic. That was really fulfilling, really fun. Not always, clearly. But I love the work that I do. So that was great. Unfortunately, there I just wasn't getting the hours that I needed because we got to rack up 3,000 of them things. So yeah, we had to move and shake. And now I am, working with basically incarcerated folks, and they're just, biding their time until they can get off parole or probation. And Brittany's doing the same thing, and we love it.
Yeah, we're literally doing the exact same thing, but two different companies. So,
we're still able to help each other as if we were an office away.
Literally, like, we take clients to court either in person or online, and like we sometimes could see each other. That's how small that field is,
right?
That we're working in. It's so small.
Yeah.
I even had referrals from my place to her place, but one of their other sites is just it's dope though.
Yeah. So firstly, we want to talk to you guys about just self-disclosure and identity, because the last thing that we want is for you guys to mistake viewing us for a relationship with a licensed mental health therapist. Right now, we're associates, meaning we're still gathering our hours. We are still technically in training, even though, we're doing the exact same job as a licensed therapist, but
yeah. We're considered registered therapists, so we are therapists. The difference between associates and license is that, of course, with license, you took a extra test that really tested your capabilities to be a therapist, your diagnosis skills, etc. You're also able to supervise other individuals who are trying to become licensed, and you could even open up your own practice, right? But as an associate, we can't open up our own practice. We can supervise, but to a certain extent. Usually they have those roles called like a lead clinician or whatnot. And some people actually decide to choose to stay in the associate position. You could stay in that position for up to 6 years, because we literally do the same thing as licensing, just like without some of the perks. Because eventually, I want to open up my own practice. So that's why my goal is to be licensed. But that's the difference. And we are registered therapists, but we are not providing you guys with therapy sessions. So still go to therapy if you're watching us.
Absolutely. Still go to therapy. And I know therapy can be not exactly affordable sometimes. So please, seek out your local community events and whatnot. You never know who you'll meet. There's also a website called openpathcollective.com or .org. Just Google Open Path Collective and you'll find it. But they have a list of registered therapists, whether they're associates or licensed, and you can narrow it down to, what race you want them to be, what you want them to specialize in, and all that kind of stuff. So please, if you feel that you need help, or if you feel like you're on the brink of needing help, please seek the proper guidance.
Yes.
All right.
With that being said, we thought the first episode back would be a great opportunity to dive more into identity, right? And I know when we say that, it's very broad. When you think of identity, I don't know, when I think of identity, the first thing that come to mind is race.
Yeah.
Right. But I know for others, it's gender or your sexual orientation, age groups fall into identity.
Communities that you find yourself in.
Yeah. Religion.
Oh, yeah.
What else?
I think those are the big ones.
Those are the main ones. And so we think this is a great time for you guys to get to know a little bit more about us and how we identify and what led to where we are today. Boop, boop, boop.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I don't even know what to start. I think as we go, you guys will realize my life is hectic. I have a very chaotic yet organized life.
That was a good description.
Yeah. And right now my mind is very chaotic yet organized. So I'll bounce off of you.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so I am Tiara. I am a 28-year-old African American woman. I identify as, unfortunately, heterosexual. But although I do find myself to be masculine attracted, so studs, come see me.
What?
I use she her pronouns. I identify as a Black American. My parents are from Jamaica. Both of them are. So if anybody asks, what kind of, I don't know, when they ask where I'm from, I say I'm born here, but my parents are from Jamaica. That's always
Your
my
origin,
answer.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like it's important to say these things because like the identities that I just listed very much shape my worldview. So like, when we're talking about things, there might be, even though like I identify as being like masculine attracted, I would not give myself the label of LGBTQ because I don't have the experiences of that collection of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I feel like that would be kind of like overdue. That would be OD for me to identify as that. So I'm just, when we speak on those things, we just want you guys to know that it's coming from this worldview, and being that we've only led our lives in this skin so far,
Yep.
it's narrow.
Yeah.
So we're super open to critique and correction. We want to learn more about the communities that we're not necessarily a part of. And please forgive us in advance if we ever see anything that we might not know is insulting. We take all the cultural competency classes and everything, but it's only a class. It's not real life, interaction with other folks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
I
me.
think that's important. I think also how you said like we only live this life in this one skin that we have. It also shapes like who we are as therapists. So like even though we go through all of the schooling and stuff, our approach, our facial expressions, our demeanor and stuff all plays into how we help treat our clients. I identify as a Black woman, heterosexual, probably. I can't stand women. But what's funny is that Tiara says I give off
Stud.
vibes. And you know what's so funny is that I get that a lot. I've even had women tell me like I could turn you, and I'm just like, what makes you think I want to? I love women, right? To women power, and I love my women, but not to date. Okay. I am a mother, so that's a huge part of my identity. I'm a mother, but I'm like in a process of trying not to make that like my sole identity. I'm a therapist, of course. I'm so much. Yeah, I am so much. I don't know why I get, what I'm gonna have to learn, especially with being on this podcast, is that I don't like talking about myself.
You don't. You really don't.
So I'm just like going like, yeah. Because it's hard talking about yourself. Maybe that's why I'm such a good therapist.
Right? Right? That's something that I feel like a lot of people don't like acknowledge, that being in therapy, a relationship with a therapist, the word relationship implies reciprocity, but a relationship with a therapist is the only relationship that you should have that's one-sided.
Yeah.
Like you should be receiving all of the help from your therapist. Your therapist should not be talking about themselves, asking you questions with regard to themselves, getting any type of help from you unless it's to help you. So like, but yeah, a lot of people feel, they come into therapy and they want to ask like personal questions about where we grew up and all that stuff. And in school, they literally tell you like, just tell your clients, I cannot legally disclose that to you.
Yeah. Or like one of my tricks is I will ask them, interesting question. Does my answer make a difference on our relationship? And then honestly, it'll go somewhere totally like different. They'll forget. But I think like in the aspect of like us just talking about identity, I know like I feel like I'm going through a transition. That's one of the reasons why I cut my hair. Like I was just going through and I was like, oh, I just want to like shed off all of like not the trauma necessarily, but like the hurt and stuff that I went through. And then also it was like new beginnings. We just graduated, we just everything. And I think like if you guys know me, like I'm good for having my hair in the silk press.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's my look. That's my look. And so cutting my hair off was like a big turn for me, because I was like, okay, I can't rely on that anymore. Let me really explore how I feel about myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I identified myself so much with what the outside world identified me as a mom, as a sibling, as a daughter, as a this or that. But like, I really was like, okay, who am I to me? What do I like? What do I want? And stuff like that. So me cutting my hair was like the first step of that. And I went through that process. I cried happy tears. I didn't even know I was going to cry, y'all. Like, I cut it and tears came out of nowhere. I was like, what the freak am I crying for? And so I went through that, and it was like really crazy. But yeah, it was like just a start of everything for me. After that, like, I think I started doing a lot of like self-reflection of how like I present myself, because I also get called control-iff a lot.
By who?
You know, Tiara just said a few.
The girl likes to control a thing or two. Ain't nothing wrong with that, you know, but sometimes you gotta let it go.
And that's my issue, is letting it go. So I also like have been and did try to learn how to let things go, right? Because I can't control everything. And I realized like my anxiety had a lot to do with why I want to control things. So anxiety definitely took over like who I was. It stopped me from engaging in a lot of things. It stopped me from like expressing myself. It stopped me from really like putting my best foot forward. So it took over and hindered a lot of like who I was.
Yeah, because like if you think about the function of anxiety, if we go back to like the dawn of man, anxiety served as a useful tool to like detect danger, right? Fight or flight. And so, but now, you know, we don't have as much danger as we had back then, overtly at least. And so like now anxiety settles in, and it's like you get in a car and you're in traffic and you have anxiety about like all the cars surrounding you, or we have anxiety around flying, which is kind of appropriate these days. You know, just like so many things that we don't necessarily need to be afraid of, but our body tells us that we do. And so like being controlling is, I feel like, a natural response to that, because if you can control what's going on around you, you don't have anything to be afraid of.
Yeah.
You know exactly what's going to happen. And the way that that presents for me is like, I also have been like diagnosed with anxiety, but for me, it's like, I want to see all of the steps that need to be taken before I even take the first step, if that makes sense. And so like, it's really hard for me to get started on things because I can't see exactly how things are going to pan out, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's really crazy how like anxiety is one of those things that just ingrains itself in you. It's like it sinks its claws into you, and it's like a virus, and you're the host body. But I've honestly started to realize that like anxiety might never go away, but I can definitely learn how to live with it.
Yeah, and that's the point of like therapy too, is learning how to manage or cope with the things that you're dealing with, because it may not fully go away. But a lot of times anxiety is just the cover up for what you're really feeling: fear, sadness, loneliness, or whatever the case may be. And I think like loneliness is a big word for me, because I can have so many people around me, but I genuinely feel alone a lot of the times. I say this a lot because how I identify like my personality, when we think about like how I express myself and stuff, I'm very like quiet. I'm more laid back type, and I just don't have a lot of words to say. And when I do, fucking listen. Because it's important, but I don't really say much. I'm really the kickback type of person. And so to get back to what I was saying, is basically that whole aspect of like how I identified with like how I expressed myself and stuff like that. It became a problem. Like I feel like it became a problem only because I allowed others to be like, oh, why are you so shy? Why are you so quiet? Why you don't say anything? Why aren't you like extroverted like this? Why aren't you that? And like when I was younger, I don't think many people really, especially kids like middle school, high school, whatever, paid attention to what anxiety was.
Definitely not.
Like, you know, and so like I was very, very anxious as a kid. Yes, that contributed to why I was quiet, but once I started working on my anxiety, I realized like I just enjoy being a very laid back, observant person. Like I'm a very like, I love the simple things in life. I really don't have to like be loud or demand attention in order to get attention when I step into a room. And I realize that. And like that's also the process that I'm going through too, because like it's hard like when you're in a crowd or around a lot of people that has so much different dynamics and you're like, okay, how do I match this energy or not? And sometimes like it's too much. And so I'm just realizing like that's just who I am. I'm just a calm, laid back, reserved person. And it's okay.
Yeah.
I have to also align myself with those who are calm, reserved, and laid back. Not exactly like me, but who aren't just too over the top. I mean, if I don't know how else to describe it because I get overwhelmed a lot.
Right. I was about to say, do you feel like you just don't mesh well with those personalities because I
get very
overstimulated?
Yeah. I get very, very overstimulated. Like I get frustrated, I get headaches. I'll start like pulling up my hair, not like a little kid, but like I'll start playing with my hair.
Imagine
like,
you in the middle of the club,
right? I just get very overstimulated, especially by like crowds and stuff. So it's definitely a struggle for me. But I want to ask you, right? So you're talking about how you identify and stuff. Have you ever once been unclear of what identify as a black woman looked like for you, or a black female looked like?
I feel like the answer has to be yes, but I can't exactly tell you how I've been confused. I feel like different than confusion. I feel like I've been struggling with fighting against, okay, how can I say this? Like, there are certain things that society at large will tell us as black women that we look like. And to counteract the stereotypes, I'm playing into respectability politics. And I'm not trying to be too loud. And I can't, take up too much space in the room. And I can't get angry even when I deserve to. And all that stuff. So I feel like I lived in that space for a long time. And these days, I feel like when I got to college, and probably when I started taking African American studies classes, I was just like, the disrespect for us has always been present. No matter if respectability top politics were played into or not. So if y'all are not gonna like me because of the way that I look and the way that I identify, I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. Yeah. Because you don't like me anyway. Yeah. So if I want to be loud, I'm gonna be loud in the appropriate spaces. But like if I want to get angry, I'm gonna get angry in the appropriate spaces. But like I understand that there's a time and place for everything, but you're still not gonna play in my fucking face. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like I really, and when I see people or hear people play into respectability politics, it really gets under my skin because I understand that it's like a survival mechanism for a lot of people. Code switch. I still code switch. Look.
Oh yeah, that's just innate.
Yeah, I don't know if there will ever be a time when I don't code switch. However, I don't view that as like a survival tactic. Whereas a lot of people, like, you have to dress a certain way and talk a certain way and walk a certain way because it can cost you your life if you were to be your whole self. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I have been fighting against.
Yeah. That reminds me of something, how you said, like, you don't rely on the code switching and stuff because with that Mr. Orange dude in the the goddamn house now. He rolled back the DEI shit. And I've been seeing a lot of TikToks where they're like, now when I fill out the application, I have to put like other or white. I can't put that on black. I'm like, I'm gonna put that on black because I'm black before I'm anything else. And I say that because when somebody see me, they're gonna see a black woman. They're gonna see our skin tone first. Like, just genuinely being honest. I was like, damn, like we really are in a time where it's like we're getting pushed back. And I know, like, and I asked you that question because I know for me, like, I don't know if it was confusion or what, but like how I was saying, I'm really like laid back, reserved and stuff. I used to get that label of being like angry or mad or intimidating all the time, right? So like when I was younger, I used to always get like smile, like put a smile on her face. Why are you angry? And I wasn't angry. I just like, I'm chilling. And so it wasn't until I got older and I realized like the stereotype of like being the black aggressive or angry black woman, and I was like, damn, I think I fit that stereotype because I'm hyper independent. I stick to myself. I'm not aggressive, but I know how to be assertive when need be.
And everyone should have that skill.
Yeah. And so I was like, damn, do I fit this stereotype? Do I have to fit this stereotype? Like, I'm not angry all the time. Like, I'm calm, I'm this, I'm that. But it seems like it aligns with that stereotype, right? And so it was really like trying to paint yourself outside of that box because it don't feel good.
But you know what the funny part is, though? We have a lot to be angry about. Yeah. Like, if I wanted to walk this earth as an angry black woman, I feel like I have every right. There was the book that I just got done reading, Sky Full of Elephants. Y'all should read it.
I just added it to my Amazon cart yesterday.
Yes. Okay. So in that book, one of the main characters, he, went to jail for some stuff. And throughout the book, he has like a heart of forgiveness or a mind of forgiveness, but it's more, it doesn't give like, oh, I'm forgiving because like for myself. It gives like, I'm forgiving, I don't know, like why I don't know. It's just weird. And so when I look at critiques on the book from people who have read it, they're like, he should have been more angry. Like throughout the whole book, he should have been more angry. And I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah, brother. Like, he should have been more angry. We have a lot to be upset about, man. Like, my mind can't even hold all of the injustices on paper and in real life that like we go through on a daily basis.
But sometimes it gets tired hearing being angry too.
Absolutely.
It's like, goddamn, I just want to chill, right? I don't want to be angry, but it's like every time you wake up, it's always fucking something. It's always something. It
is always something. And it's so funny that you said people be telling you to smile. Because I've always hated that, right? Because like, you don't know what is going on in my day. Actually shut up. So like, but for the very first time in my life, I talked back to someone who said that. Because I was at Ralph's with my mom. And I don't know what it is about being with my mom, but like, I don't like when people disrespect me when I'm with my mom.
Get out.
So like, we were walking out of Ralph's and this man was driving in front, and so I was letting him go and he told me to cross anyway. So I was crossing in front of his car, and when I got to his window side, he was like, smile, but it was the way he said it. It was just so aggressive. And I turned around and I was like, no! And I screamed. And my mom was already way at my car, and she was like, what happened? And I was like, he told me to smile, and I told him no. Like, woo. But that felt really good. That felt really good.
I love that.
Cuss people out more in 2025.
You know, it is what it is. We only have one life, and you don't want to go down saying, damn, I wish I would have cussed that person out. Choose violence.
Choose violence today.
No, because then they going to end up in that therapy.
All right, I'm sorry. My bad. Don't choose violence. Don't choose violence.
Sometimes.
We don't condone violence. And there are more forms of violence than physical.
I'm more of a Malcolm X type of person instead of MLK. I ain't taking the high road.
You said forget all that Michelle was talking about. When they go low, we go high. I'm going lower. I'm going taking low it to hell. The ground. I'm taking it to hell.
Okay.
But you know, sometimes it do gotta be like that. You know what I'm saying? Look, we told you this wasn't therapy.
Pick your battles.
Okay? Pick your battles.
Pick them.
They are not all worth fighting.
At all.
But when
and
they
be
are,
accountable too. Now, if you're going to take the low road, be accountable when shit fuck up and blow up in your face. You can't be like, oh my God, but that's a part of being an adult.
Yep.
You know, you pick and choose your battles and you got to take accountability at the end of it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we have a surplus of battles to choose from. So, yeah.
I think like that was a good little gist of us. I hope that made you guys like a little bit, more comfortable with us as you are welcoming us into your living room or car, wherever you're going to be listening and watching us at. I'm sure you're going to know like way more about us as we go on. But I think like how we identified ourselves definitely says a lot about like how we present ourselves to the world, how we present ourselves to our families, to you guys, and in the therapy office.
Yeah.
So I really hope this set the tone of, like Tiara was saying, our perspective and our viewpoints when we do speak on certain topics. I think you could tell very much we're very passionate about anything that's going to affect Black women. We're very passionate about anything that's going to affect Black people, period. I'm raising a little Black girl who's going to become a very strong-minded Black woman.
Amen.
And so a lot of the things that I talk about and that we're going to talk about is like with passion. And it's just such a learning like process as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely a learning process. So I think with that being said, it brings us to our next segment, which is our nugget of wisdom.
Yep. But before we get to our nugget of wisdom, if there's anything that we didn't discuss, and you want to know about us, let us know. Put it in the comments. So yeah, okay. Our nugget of wisdom. A nugget of wisdom. I feel like a good nugget of wisdom is just choose your battles.
Yeah.
Like we said, all battles are not worth fighting. And unfortunately, we have a lot of battles to choose from.
Yeah.
While you do have every right to be angry as a Black person, as a people of the global majority, but they like to call us minorities, as a minority of any kind, there are a lot of things to be angry about. However, being angry is not good for your health, not good for your heart, not good for your mind, and it will eat away at you. So I know it sounds corny, but forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for you. And even if you don't have the capacity to forgive, just try not to fight your way through life. We are here to live. We deserve to live and not just survive. And I know we have to survive day to day, but try to live too.
Yes.
Live your life.
That was perfect. Look, she's going to be giving a lot of the negative wisdoms because she's just perfect with words.
Yes.
And then I think our resource segment. You provided a great resource, though.
What was it?
Seeking therapy.
Oh, yeah. Openpathcollective.org. If it's not .org, please just Google Open Path Collective. Like I said, they are a website with therapists from seasoned associates to seasoned licensed therapists. Narrow down your search to race, state, specialty, what kinds of things they're certified in. And also remember that you have to date your therapist. There are going to be, probably 2, 3, 4 therapists that you go through before you find the one that works for you.
That's totally normal too. Like, it's normal. I done fired a lot of therapists.
Okay, because all of them is not, out here doing the work like they should be. So find the one that's right for you. Take advantage of the free 15 to 30 minute consultation. Ask your questions. And if you guys don't know what to ask, let us know and we can do a video about that.
Yeah.
So, date your therapist, all right? And be well. Take care of yourself.
Yeah. Take care. Thank you for tuning back in to Double Dose Remedies of the Soul. We will be back with another episode.
Yeah. February 8th. Yeah, this is dropping February 8th. So come see us, all right? And we would love to see you.
Bye.
See ya.